Hi, Ben. It's lovely to have you on the show.
I'll tell you what, it's lovely to be here with you. I've been looking forward to this, and I've been following you for quite a while now, and it feels a bit surreal to be part of this with you. So thank you ever so much.
That's the way the universe works. It's been incredible. When you said that, you saw me on another chat that we were learning from as well, and you reached out, and I thought, oh, this is a great guy. And then I watched how you were working and how you were advising and giving some amazing pointers in the group chat. And so this is Ben Hopkins, people. And I've asked Ben to come on here because I'm new to this. We're all new to this. It's never happened, like this before. And I've intuitively connected with Ben. We haven't physically met, but this is the first time we've actually done face-to-face. And we wanted to share our experience to make it not scary, and that we've both intuitively connected. And Ben's got a great background on his IT. And Ben, how did you get into this yourself?
Well, yeah, when I think back, it's been a real short period of time, really. I've got this wonderful friend who I've known for years who sends me some pretty amazing stuff. And one of a video she sent me about 6 weeks ago, not much more than that if it was a video that had a guy called Crypto Brownie, who's now known as Quantum Brownie, talking to a guy, Mel Carmine. And the video, I'll sort of talk about that a bit later. But it was talking about what Lobstr is and the seized assets. And it kind of like, I looked at the title of the video and I thought, I've got to watch this. It was pretty late at night. I thought, maybe I'll leave it till tomorrow. I thought, no, I've got to get into this. I could see it was about 2 hours long or something. And I thought, oh.
Yes.
It's just one of those things that like you, I've got that intuitive sense. And I thought, no, there's a tap on the shoulder. Just watch this now. You need to. So I thought, okay, and having young kids, you never know how much time you're going to get in the morning anyway, do you? So
no way.
I had a look at this video, and it was talking about the seized assets from the corrupt corporations worldwide. Now, a bit like you, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, I looked at that and I thought, I've been asking myself this question for over 2 years, ever since I heard Charlie W. Your viewers probably know who I mean by that. He was talking about that everything we've been seeing for the last 2 years has been really all about a financial reset, a replacement of the corrupt system with a clean one that serves the people.
Yes.
And I always have this question in my mind: how is that going to surface some sort of breakthrough to the average person to know about? And some of the ideas I've heard over time about, like a big load of cash being dumped on your doorstep, I never really resonated with that. Yeah. And I thought people won't know how to deal with that much money.
No.
And to do it right, I think you've got to ask people, are you ready to receive? And those people probably that are will start, and others will come on over time, and it'll sort of transition that way. So anyway, long story short, I saw this video and I thought, that answers my question. That's the question I've had in my head for well over a year, if not 2.
And you connect.
So it's a great video, and I'll tell you the video so that your viewers can sort of find that really easy. For me, that was a video I'll always remember. And so, yeah, that was really it. That was 6 weeks ago now. So since then, I went deep dive. The next morning, I got up and I did what I need to do for the family, and I set up my own Lobster wallet.
Yes.
Configured it all, put some cryptos into an exchange, sent it through to Lobster, and by lunchtime I was up and running, and I thought that was easier than I expected. And I've owned crypto for a few years, but I've only just sort of sat on it. I didn't, my intention was just to hold what I thought was valuable, XRP and XLM.
Yes.
And just hold on to it till it was valuable, but I never did any trading, so that was all very new to me, that idea.
Yes.
So anyway, I mean, I hope that answers your question. It's been 6 weeks, and since we got down that process, I talked to a few people. I've got a really good friend, Nathan, who helps me administer some of the chat. But we set up a Telegram chat group, which I know you're aware of and you're part of, and with the intention of helping people sort of get across that line. We know it's a challenging subject when you tell people maybe that have retired or have never dabbled in digital assets and crypto. Now you've got to set up your whole system over here. It's quite challenging. So we aim to support people as much as we can. We're just average Kiwis that just want to do a good job for our fellow person.
The great heart.
Enable them to receive.
Yes, definitely, definitely. It's your story is so similar, and because there's a couple of us, we've pretty much, well, there's actually a group of us that had put into XRP and XLM and had it on a completely different wallet, and just thought, oh, okay, we'll put it there for, you know, when the big exchange, you know, comes through. But then out of nowhere, Mal Carmine, crypto brownie that is now known as Quantum Brownie, I don't know how they arrived on in front of me. Intuitively, I was so drawn, and I clicked on and watched, and I went, hang on a minute, I can do something now. And what I liked about it was the humanitarian side of things. And I thought, yes, that resonates, that really resonates. And they made it fun. Everything about them was fun. And I thought, I like that. I like that wave. As long as it's fun, I'm happy to participate. And so I watched the Crypto Brownie and Mal. There was that one with them both on.
Yes.
And it totally resonated within my psyche. And it was quite funny because they say, just watch the videos. So my mate, Tony in Taupo, he rang me up and he goes, did you get it? And I went, yeah. And he goes, let's nut it out together. So that's what we did. And we have had a blast. And you know, the funny thing about it is that, you know, when you buy an unopened asset and you have to wait for it to become open, his were ticking over and mine weren't. And he kept calling me, no, the universe is not looking after you. They've got something else in mind. And I'm like, that's so not fair. But yes, it's just one, it was actually my son that said it, was that it's like a balloon. And when it comes live, it depends on which channel you've come in at, is when it opens. And we all will put in, hey, such and such is open, and you can see it ticking through. And some we actually have to wait. It's like, well, mine aren't. Why? And it's because it depends which channel you came in at, what day you brought it, basically, then it comes through. So that was a really important lesson at the beginning, because I was thinking, I've done something wrong. You can't really do anything wrong.
That's right. And I think there's just such a simple formula that we use that came from Quantum Brownie on how to do that. And it's one of the main things that we're teaching people in that group, isn't it? So just so they can be confident that they place their orders and they can sort of sit back and just know that that's ready for when they open. That is an exciting part of it, because you're kind of like getting in before the first start, you know, the starting point. Which who has ever had that opportunity to know something great that you want to be able to invest in, and you know about it before it even opens up to trade?
Exactly. And the good thing is, here I want to stipulate, neither Ben or I are financial advisors. This is our own personal experience, and we just wanted to share. And but we watched where we were struggling and not understanding. So Ben in the group, and there's Nathan, and we'll come in and ask questions, and then if somebody else knows an answer or a question, they'll put it in and others can join in. And because when the questions come in, we're learning from the question answer experience.
That's right.
And it's amazing.
So tell me, what kinds of questions are you getting? I know you've had a lot of interest through some of the last videos you've put in from people. What kinds of questions do people have about it?
Okay, so what I've experienced, because people are coming through in different aspects, the main one is they are excited since I've spoken about it. They're just, Karen, what do I do? Karen, can you get on with it? Karen, would you just do a video? And it's like, hang on, I've got to try and, do a process, because we don't want to reinvent the wheel because the wheel's being created.
True, yeah.
And there is so many videos, but I thought it was a brilliant time here is that we go through our experience of how we set ourselves up, what not to do, because one lady reached out and was scammed, but not on this one, because there's so many different cryptos out there. And so first of all is, how do I get started? What is a wallet? How do I put money into my wallet? And where do I go from here?
Right, okay.
So there you go. You can start it off.
Okay. Well, let's just sort of talk about what Lobster is. So
yes,
I've heard it described. There's a group called QSI who are a really great resource. I'll sort of give you some details about those guys later. But they describe Lobster as an exchange and a hot wallet. So I had to look that up. I thought I knew the answer, and I was probably close, but a hot wallet is really just an online wallet, a wallet that's just connected to the Stellar network. So what we talk, Lobster runs on the Stellar network, which is also known as XLM. So that's what a wallet is. You can just think of it as a typical wallet. It's named as such. Metaphorically, it's just like a wallet that's in your pocket, except it's a digital one online. And it's yours, and no one knows it. It's a bit like a bank account number, right? It's tied to you, and you can sort of share your account details with other people and transfer between accounts and send money to your friends directly. But no one could just look at what they call the blockchain, the network below it, and know who one person is from another. So you could never say, I want to target this specific person. So I won't get any deeper into that, but the way that it's designed to work, we're told that it's quantum, right? So this is quite a challenging idea for a lot of people, isn't it? What is quantum? Well, it knows your intentions. The system, we're told, knows your intentions. So this answers another question that I've had for a long time. How do you make sure that the wealth transfer back to the people just doesn't fall back into the hands of the wrong people, and we find ourselves back where we were? So everything's tracked. It brings people in, doesn't it? Knowing that's sort of like, oh, that's got a really interesting feel to it. And I know that I've got pure intentions, like thinking for someone who feels that way. And I know that I couldn't be corrupted, so I'm going to just dive straight in. But I have talked to people who I thought were really awake to what was going on, and they don't feel like they resonate with it because they're not taking action.
That's actually a really interesting point, and it's something that I've noticed intuitively, that if you aren't awakened to that energy of that quantum level, you just won't resonate. You're not ready for it. So it's like, nah, they'll just walk away. But everybody has different stages of when they're going to learn and when they're going to open up to another frequency. So this definitely is resonating on a high frequency. It's a completely different frequency altogether.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So just to complete your questions, what you do is you create an account on an exchange, and we've set up a list of what exchanges that within New Zealand we know we've tested and we know they work. So then you would transfer some New Zealand dollars, as much as you want to put into that account, convert it to XLM, and then send it to your Lobster wallet. That's basically that's the first step for anyone new starting out.
Yes.
Once they've got their XLM into their wallet, it's a matter of understanding what assets are, how to find those assets, what the difference between an open and an unopened asset, and how to purchase both of those. And that's really it, isn't it? I mean, there's a bit more to it, but I mean, in a nutshell.
Yeah, keeping it simple. Yeah, keeping it simple, because I know that all the different individuals that I've helped train, everyone is learning at a completely different rate. And what I can help with this person gets it, but the other one doesn't. And then you have to spend more time, and then that one loses it. It's like, oh my God. So that's why it's taken me a little while to create this video, because I know on how everyone's got a different learning capacity, but we've all got different frequencies. And it's all done on a quantum level. And I'm finding it fascinating that even the older age bracket, you know, 70s going into the 80s, are actually clicking on. The ones lower are picking it up, but they'll look at it a different way. And then the middle bracket it's this middle bracket that I'm finding it so interesting. And it doesn't matter whether you're male, female, it doesn't matter how academic you are, it's how you intuitively run. And what I love about Lobster, if you're concentrating on doing one process, it'll actually stop you if you're doing it wrong. You can't buy, because it knows that you haven't put a sell, and it knows you can't do a buy, and you've accidentally pushed sell instead of buy. Oh, no, sorry, the other way around. And it will stop you. And it'll highlight it. So there's also even just working with it, I decided on a spiritual side, I wanted to track it. I'm giving faith, I'm transferring my money into the system that I'm intuitively connecting to, but I actually want to go out and make sure on a spiritual side.
Lovely, yeah.
So I did. And I followed the energy. And they're watching us on how we're working with it and how our brains are adapting. And I could feel that they're watching how we're working with it to how better improve it as well. And I found it fascinating. And as you know, in the last week, we've had some amazing updates, and we're all going, whoa, what's happening here?
Yeah, and that's right. I mean, it's really hard. I'm a software developer, and I've been in that industry for nearly 30 years. So I know when I look at what we've seen over the last week, that there's been really well-structured updates to the platform. It's a very simple application to use, but we've also seen some of these pegbacks in functionality as well. So where people used to be able to just search randomly for things and they'd get lots of results, now they're having to think one step further and really understand it.
You're having to expand the way you work with your brain, because I know when we started, it was like, oh, I do this, yep, and you were just fine, you know, getting in there. And then all of a sudden, you come into the chat and go, hey, it's not working. And randomly somebody will go, oh, I'm having a problem. But others didn't see that problem. So you actually started thinking it was yourself. But anyway, it's all rectified. It's been upgraded. And we've just had to unlearn what we've known, but use that knowledge on a completely new step. So it's so much easier. And but yeah, I thought it was easy before.
Yeah, that's right. Well, another thing is, you know, when you look at the way that the chat's working, like, I don't think I've ever seen a group of people sort of come together so positive. There's so much love and good energy in that little group we've got. And it's really only been a week since we started up that Telegram chat, but it feels like a really long week, because I mean, we've all been putting so much into it every day. And we've set up now, the idea is that we end up having a lot of the people that are in the group now, they'll all have a much higher base level of understanding, and they can become the teachers of the next group. So that that's really how we're finding it works. Like, not everyone's online all day 24/7. Someone has a question, and it's lovely that someone else will just sort of chime in and say, hey, I had that problem and this is how I resolved it. And we're like, great, thanks for answering that.
And you can, the beautiful thing about exactly how you covered it is that the caliber of people are just incredible. They're just beautiful. No one is higher than the other, but we all, I think, honestly, I can't wait till we all meet, because everybody is looking after everybody.
Yeah.
And this, okay, on a spiritual side, I just got guided then, that is the way of our future.
Oh, it's got to be right.
Because eventually it won't have anything to do with the money. It is how we interact with one another. And with this group, oh my gosh, I even just right now, I can feel it in my heart. I can feel it in my heart that that's how we're working, and we're becoming the new era of the way working. And like you said, we're looking after each other. We're becoming like a beautiful family of like-minded souls. We've walked away from all this nefarious goings on out there. We've put ourselves over here, having a chat, chin wag, supporting one another, the beautiful comments. And, you know, the work that you're putting in there is just incredible. And, you know, with Nathan and everybody else, it's a really powerful energy that we're actually, you can feel it. And it's fun to jump in. And
now, when I first saw that video by Quantum Brownie, and he was talking about the humanitarian, I just thought, I connect with you now. And I really, you know, that was probably the moment when I thought, he's doing what I want to do, and why can't I? And so, I mean, late last year, I left my job. We all know probably why that was.
Really?
And I decided I want to be doing something humanitarian. And that's what I actually said when I left, is that I'm in this, I want to be doing humanitarian work. I'm sick and tired of just building software just for, you know, 10% gain in some office, you know, an office group's, you know, software process. I want to actually be having a much bigger impact than this.
Yes.
And so I set myself up into a position where right now I'm able to put quite a lot of energy and time into this. And so I think that's really, I feel like that happened all at the right time in order for this to sort of walk through the door and I could put my hand up. So I don't want anyone who's, you know, watching this who feels like, oh no, you know, I can't take people's time. I want questions to come through. I want people to get themselves to that next level, It's so exciting what we're doing here. Like, this is it really, you know, for me. It's the combination of the humanitarian side of it, the technology, the emerging, you know, you can start to picture the new world a lot better.
You can.
And you can see it, you can almost touch it now. And it's bubbling, it's going to break through the layer, isn't it? You're going to start to see it and you'll be like, okay, this is really here now. And we had to do it. So let's, as a group, let's do that. If anyone's watching this and they feel like they're not very tech savvy and all of these buzzwords sound really hard to do, start the first step, take from there the second, third step. You've got really good onto it people who within the last week have taken those same steps, and you'll get a lot of help, a lot of love and help and patience and support.
And it is, and I think that's what's so beautiful about the group is that we remember what it was like when we started, and you can see the new ones coming in. And the beautiful thing is that, you know, even Quantum Brownie and Mel Carmine and QSI, we've all had to start somewhere, and these videos coming out. But because we're literally witnessing more and more people wanted to become part of it, because we don't earn anything, you know, just while we're even speaking or encouraging. It's just we're building a community of like-minded souls following their heart vibration and connecting. We do not get paid for doing any of this. This is our own soul purpose. But we're growing on our own inner self, but we know that the more we put our energy into something that we're believing in, we can create the energy to attract that positive energy to come in for us all to participate in this whole experience. And I think that's what I really resonate to. And likewise, and I find it funny that how I've even connected with you is only because you reached out, saw me in that another chat, said, hey, I watch your videos, and I went, oh, that's cute. And then I watched you commenting a few times, and then we all did a big shift up, created our own, well, you know, the one that you're running for us. And the energy is just gone straight up because the right people found each other.
Yeah.
And it's going to go from there. And because we've both got the energy of the love to help others.
Yeah, and it supports everybody through it. I mean, so I know people sort of get into the chat and they think, oh, I've just got home from being out, I haven't got time, but the energy of the chat, and they're up for another couple of hours talking kind of thing. That does happen. So, and I love that, you know, it just shows you what energy can do for you.
I don't even turn TV on anymore. It's so funny. I'm doing the renos and doing my own videos, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I haven't been on there for a few hours. Hang on. And I'll sit there, get my cup of tea and scroll through, and you learn so much. You're taking action, you're buying, and you're catching up with different people. And it's like, I got a new way of living at the moment, and this is interesting. Because I can't be bothered going through all those other chat rooms and the doom and the gloom. Unless there's something positive, I don't want to be part of it. This is positive.
Yeah, that's right. Well, for me, it was a huge alert. You know, you don't need to sort of wait for something to happen big and that's happening. You can actually go looking for it. And if it resonates with you, start jumping on, because the more people that get involved with something that's working for the light, as you know, it's going to happen all the sooner, and it's going to be all the better. I want to make sure that I mention those Telegram those YouTube channels.
Yes.
In case anyone's waiting for me to do that. So Quantum Brownie is the first one I'd mention. The second one is called XRP QFS Team 1. Now that's Mel Carmine's channel.
Say that again slowly. Say that again slowly.
XRP QFS Team 1.
Perfect.
And if you just search for Mel Carmine, his name MEL, and his surname is CARMINE. And another channel that you should look at is called Quantum Stellar Initiative. Stellar is STELLAR. Those are great YouTube channels that you can look at to get started too. As you've said, none of us are earning any money on this. We're not in it for that purpose. We're in it for the humanitarian side of it. And a lot of us have been waiting for a long time for the opportunity to do good for the world. And so we're putting other things like the need to earn money aside in various ways to do that. If anyone wants to get in touch or feels like they want to find out a bit more, I'd welcome them to email me if they want to. I've set up an email address, LobsterNZ, so that's LOBSTRNZ at proton.me, PROTON.me. So feel free to just drop me an email in there and just say, hey, I saw you on Karen's channel. Can you tell me more, or send me and I'll send you a link to join the Telegram chat.
Yes.
Just want to get that out of the way, Karen, so we don't forget it.
Yeah. Yeah, before this all stops. Yes, and yeah, because it's gone so fast. The New Zealand, the Australian community, the vibration's gone out. And I know that there's so many groups out there that are going international. So depending on where you are, there are groups for every country. And then, like Ben has said, we've got our one here in New Zealand that is just, it's just beautiful. And where are we? I'm just
one of the ways that we've seen the groups grow is through like local meetups. And so that's how Australia has gone around. So I think it's Brownie is based in Brisbane, and so he was having like weekly meetups with people, inviting people over to his house to show them how to get started. Realized he could have a greater impact if he used a Telegram channel and used YouTube to sort of teach more people and get more leaders coming within the group. And we've kind of started that way too, with that intention that we've got to meet up this weekend, so that the first one ever for New Zealand, and we'll probably be having them all around the country. But if anyone's watching this video, they're not in New Zealand, even if they're in Australia, they're more than welcome to join into our chat. Just be aware that we're there to all support each other, and we've deliberately made it a private chat, so we know it's a very safe room with reliable information and assistance from the group. But if you think you can join in and you want to, then by all means ask to.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And one thing, it's quite interesting because I'm getting guided to say here, is if somebody privately messaged you through your Telegram, email, or Facebook, unless you know them personally, don't go that way.
Don't believe
because
a word.
There are so many people out there that are actually scamming an individual, then going into their friends' contacts and pretending to be that person. And this is the safest thing I can strongly say, is be in a group. So there you know that you feel safe, and don't, if one person messages you and goes, hey, come over here, don't go there.
Yeah. Or at least post that message into the main chat to say, was this you? You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. I think that's a good general rule of thumb, that we don't do personal direct messages. And if there's a message that, if you want to have a personal message or send one to someone, that's okay. But we don't do that.
No.
And if anyone, as the group's growing, that will become more and more of a no-no, because it does put people at risk.
Definitely. And, you know, even under here on this video, you can write questions, because Ben will also be looking at them as well. And because that's what it is. It's all about sharing the questions, and we go from there. But the growth has been exponential, and it's been a crazy time. And so for somebody right here, right now, because I know as soon as they watch this, I can feel the energy between us creating this. I can see that, what do I do now? Where do I go? So let's guide them on the first step, because I know people are automatically creating and I know this is for a fact, because people have messaged me and said, right, I've jumped on Lobster, I've created my wallet, what do I do now?
Yeah, I would say get into our chat group. You know, we can actually help you get those first steps. So as soon as you begin, you can still make mistakes. So you might you might create an account on an exchange that doesn't like sending money to Lobster, or it causes you problems, for example. As I said, I've mentioned those channels, and anyone watching is free to go and look at those channels. I think they're all great, and they do have videos on there, such as how to set up your Lobster wallet. So feel free to go and dig those out. But if you just want to be part of the group as soon as you can, just send an email to that address I mentioned.
Yes, I think that's a good call as well, because straight away there's people in there that are at all levels. And what has been amazing, because I've known quite a lot of those people in that group already, and the level of their learning has been so fast.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, look at the way you're talking, honey. You've learned it just like that. And because it's an intuitive, it's like somebody showing you a job, just a basic, once you know, bingo, and because there's videos to look, so you've learned it, you can come in and ask any question in the chat, you can come back, put another little video beside you, and it's like you do it yourself and you're away. And then it becomes instinctive to work with it. Now, what I'm loving is that with the assets that are out there are getting seized, you will resonate, because there are already, I don't know how many are out there. It's just like, oh my God, there's so many. Now you have to, okay, one thing I say to anyone that starts, because they've got a fear, and I've had so many go, oh, I'm really quite fearful about this. You know, it's not tangible, but XLM is backed by silver, XRP is backed by gold. Yes, it is on your computer screen and you can't physically see these assets, but you know the names. Start with that $100. Get a feel for it, and you can't go wrong on $100. I had a dear friend's husband this weekend going, Karen, I haven't looked into this. I need to, and I went, let your wife have $100, please. And I said, look, I will take her out for dinner and we could easily blow $100. But I said, go and cook her some dinner with my hubby and I will go and help her make some more money with that $100. But it is, everybody is on a different level and they need that security. So start small, have an idea to where you will go.
Yeah, great advice.
Yeah.
And one XLM is about 20 cents or 25 cents, right, New Zealand. And you can make an order for as little as like half an XLM, a tiny minuscule amount. So this is a big piece I want to make sure people are aware of, that this wealth transfer is enabling the average person to buy into these massive multi-billion-dollar corporate conglomerates. And you can put in a few XLM, which is maybe $1, something silly like that, and buy billions of these assets, billions of shares, if you like. So once you really get your head around that, you just think, oh, well, that's going to be worth it.
Absolutely, because the return, like the questions I get, well, how much is it, that one XLM? And I go, hey, if you don't quite know the company, but you know that it's a big firm or an industry or whatever you're looking at, and I go, what's $1? What's $1? Put $1 down. That $1 in return, when it goes live and it takes off, because actually that's something you could talk about, is what happens when it does go live. We're buying in at the beginning, because the return is up here in the end. Yeah.
Well, we're really at the stage where the assets are just being added into the exchange now. And we're seeing almost daily new, what they call domains opening up. So, for example, like the silver domain opened up a few days ago, right? And of course, imagine how many different corporations around the world are dealing with silver, with mines, or with, different sorts of things. So you choose, you go with what resonates with you, of course. Now, I love silver, and I've been stacking silver for a long time, and I love that. Just holding a piece of it just feels right to me.
Yeah, I know.
Great. But the process is, it's really just a matter of just getting in there and having a look. I mean, if you can look around the world now, and you can look at some of the mainstream media, and they're talking about new corporations that are merging, and you can see, okay, I can see how this is forming a new company that's going to continue to exist. And sometimes there's a group of different corporations that are in the similar sort of space, but they provide different things to each other, like IBM and Google Ventures working together, those sorts of things, along with communications, and that you can see, this is how some of the new technologies will roll out. So you can look at that and say, well, I think those would be worth a gamble on. Those, if I can buy a few billion tokens of each one of those corporations for a few dollars, then why wouldn't you? That kind of thing. But your question really is about how liquidation doesn't really exist yet on the Stellar network, and we're getting there quite quickly. And there's a big milestone for Stellar just happening this week on the 8th, and that's what they call Protocol 19. So if you don't know what that is, jump on Google, search for Stellar Protocol 19 and have a look at what that is. And that's where a lot of what we've been talking about with scam assets and these sorts of things that you need to be aware of, they'll all be given, thrown by the wayside. And at that point, we'll start to see liquidity. And at the moment, you can put your money into Lobster. You can buy your assets that you want to. You can trade between assets and back to XLM, but you can't withdraw it out for cash, even though you can see some massive gains in the value of what you're buying already. But you can't at the moment withdraw that. And we're not going to be able to do that until we know it's a level playing field and everyone in there is clean.
Yes, 100%, 100%. And it's, the way I look upon it, it's a savings account. In New Zealand, we have, isn't it, KiwiSaver? You can't touch it. It's for later on. Yeah. But eventually, the way I look upon it, I won't be drawing it down. I'll be living off the dividends from it. And this is my understanding, is that eventually the industry, we're going to be merging into this. So we can go to a shop with our Lobster, our wallet, and we can purchase, instead of physically pulling out our purse and taking our dollars or using our FBOS, we're going to be using it through our wallet, a Lobster wallet, and purchasing. And say, for instance, I have to mention this because I'm getting guided to say, if you're wanting to look at Ben's t-shirt, I think it's the one I think it is, your new t-shirt. Yes, there we go.
Just arrived yesterday.
I'm getting guided. Show Ben's t-shirt. So let's say, for instance, Ben's selling the t-shirts, and I can straight away go, Ben, I want 5 of them. And he would give me his address to his wallet, and I can go in and purchase through my Lobster wallet straight into Ben's, and it's going to be as easy as that. It's
instant, and there's no middleman, so no one's taking a cut. Yeah.
And that
money
was
that
amazing.
you send is the money that's received. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, look, I had something fun the other day. My son is totally into this. It's been so much fun sharing this experience with him. He's my younger one, so he's, oh gosh, I'll get that wrong. He's 25, and I said to him, the bank won't allow my money to go through the MoonPay and into my Lobster account. I can't put another $100 down. And I went, hang on a minute. I got some XRP on another wallet. And I said, I want to transfer some money from my XRP into my Lobster account, then convert it in. I said, oh yeah, piece of cake for me, Mum. Great. Show me. And then he said, here's this link, this key. And I said, great. And I put it in. And I said, yes, it's gone from my Edge wallet. And he said, yeah, well, you should see it in your Lobster. And I said, no, it hasn't come in. And he goes, oh, sorry, Mum, it's in mine. He said, that's how you scam your mum. So he said, and I said, oh my gosh, you set me up on that one. So that's how fast. Now, all he did when we caught up, he got his wallet, scanned my barcode, boom, went straight in.
Great, yeah.
So that's how
it should be that easy, shouldn't it?
Sorry?
It should be that easy and pretty much instantaneous within a few seconds, if not a minute. The most.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, it's our money.
Yeah.
We should have the control of our own money, how we wish to spend it. Instead of, you can't get it out of the bank, you can't do this. And so this has been a wonderful chat. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us, Ben?
Just a personal thing, really. I think this is the first time I've done anything like this with someone, and I really appreciate you asking me to do this. I've loved it, every minute of it. And I just wanted to say a big thank you to my mum and dad because when all this started, you know, 2.5 years ago or whenever it was, I sent them a video. You'll probably know it was the fall of the, and then a word beginning
Oh,
C.
yes, yes.
And I sent them that to have a look at, and I thought they're going to think that their son's gone a bit nutty, I think. And they came back to me, they said, oh, we watched that, Ben, we loved it, it was great, we think it's right, have you got any more of those? And so my mum and dad are as awake as anyone, and this last couple of years it's been made so much more fun and easier because of that. So I really feel for people who are like the only person in the family that has a clue.
Totally.
Yeah, credit to my mum and dad.
That's fantastic. My mum and dad should meet your mum and dad. Exactly the same story, and they have totally walked right beside me the whole way through. And I said to them, I said, this is really unique that you have followed me and you have guided me, you have supported me, you have pushed me with the videos, you watch my videos. And I said, I'm finding a true blessing. And they said, Karen, how can we not be part of this? You have taken us all the way through with your spiritual development. And so when you come out with something new, it's like, why not go and have a look what she's talking about? And I've been very, very honored with even my own adult children. They are completely wide awake. Wow. And it's been incredible. Now, the beautiful thing is 2 or 3 weeks ago now, they said, right, have you two, mum and dad, have you gone out to a restaurant for a while? And we went, no, we haven't. And they went, right, that's it. And they booked a restaurant. We went out there and we walk in, and because I've encouraged my family not to do this, and we're all standing there, and we had to wait 10 minutes, and we're all standing there going, oh, we stand out because we're all, you know, with no nappy on. And all these people are looking at us, and I said to them, stand proud. Let them know it's okay, and stand proud. And we had the most amazing, beautiful evening. And, you know, when you can bring your family and your friends on this wavelength, it's incredible. Because I have to say, last week I went through Wellington with my daughter, and I was stunned. For the first time, there's barely anyone. Oh, sorry. There is more people now not wearing the nappy.
Oh, great. I'm seeing the same here.
That was huge.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hooray, hooray. So, you know, now they can breathe the air, breathe the room, you know, the vibration, and, you know, hey, more people may look this way, but doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can't afford 100. It doesn't matter if you can't be part of this.
Join the group. That's what I would say.
Yeah. And
tell us what your circumstances are. There's people in there, such as myself, that will throw you some XLM to get started. So
100%.
Don't let that be a reason not to start.
Do you know what? As soon as you said that, I felt it, because I can definitely say, you know, the unity in that group. It's you. Oh my gosh, you can feel it, and you know, you can see what we're creating in there. And a lot of us are also starseeds, and we're intuitively running this as well. So the compassion, and everybody is holding each other's hand. And you can imagine when we all get together. Oh my gosh.
I know. Well, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. As I said, that's the first one. Yeah. Oh, look, it's been so lovely to be on here with you. I'll just repeat that email address for anyone, if that's okay. So it's Lobster NZ, LOBSTR NZ at proton, PROTON.me, ME. And I'll welcome any emails there. And thank you very much for being part of this. And thank you, Karen, for having me on. Lovely.
It's been an absolute pleasure. We've had a lot of fun today in this meeting and catch up. And honestly, if you feel the vibe from us both, get in touch, because it's a new era. Let's walk away from everything that's going on out there on a negative vibe. Let's change the vibe up and let's create our wonderful new world in front of us. So thank you so much, Ben, for coming on, and I'll see you in the chat room.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me. All the best.
It's wonderful. Thank you.